Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I draw hands. This is the most requested thing. I get asked to show how I draw. My wife asks me all the time, for tips on how to draw hands and things like that. This is something I think every artist kind of struggles with. The hand is a very complex thing. It's got a lot of moving parts and a lot of dynamic shapes in it. So let's just get started here. First I'm going to show you how I draw a standard kind of relaxed hand, like at someone's side if you're drawing a character from straight on. So generally I'd start, you've got the arm kind of coming down like this, the forearm right there, into the wrist. So it's coming off the body, forearms right there, and so generally there's this bend. Like if I'm drawing a natural fist, or a hand, if I'm drawing a fist, so I might draw that wrist part right there straight, very rigid. But if I'm drawing a relaxed hand, generally there's kind of like a nice bend, like a little relaxed bend where gravity just kind of pulls on the joint a little bit. So for my hand, I'll see that bend in the wrist and kind of have it come a little bit straight down. So kind of straighten out from the angle of the forearm. And then from there, I'll kind of come out with my thumb. That's this part right here that you're going to see me draw. Then kind of comes out like that and into the hand. Now the hand part, this part right here, is kind of like a square, and you have to see things in simple shapes when you're drawing. It helps you to be able to draw not just this hand I'm showing you, but to be able to draw the hand in any kind of pose, so you can draw from your head, which is a big part of like how I learn to draw and how I teach drawing, is understanding that you shouldn't just focus on the lines that I'm putting down, but the shapes I'm putting down. So you'd have this kind of square or rectangle piece that is the main part of the hand. And so this piece right here where the thumb kind of attaches, that's this kind of webbing right here, and you can't make a lot of mistake I see that artists make, beginners, is they put this joint right here too close to this big ball joint on the hand. You got to make sure you come out a little bit, so with that webbing, and the joint's going to be more ahead of this one, so up further on the hand. And you kind of just draw your finger in there like that, and then you got your middle finger kind of in there, and I always kind of tuck, because the angle of the hand is, you're not looking at it flat like this, it's more of at an angle like this, so you can kind of hide some of those fingers in the background behind them. So you got the main part of the hand, another joint there, and the pinky's behind there, and this finger I always draw kind of relaxed and kind of at an angle, kind of coming in behind those other two fingers. So that's kind of my relaxed hand that I draw by default. And you got your fingernails in there. I'm just throwing this together real quick. The joints. So that's kind of my relaxed hand that I do a lot. And like I said, if you learn the shape of this stuff, then you can kind of draw it in any position you want. So let's say the guy's flying through the air. Let's draw another hand right here. Forearm coming in like this, and he's kind of like angry or something. Let's draw the thumb in there. A little bit different hand shape, but this is definitely more of an aggressive type hand. Fingers like that. So you can see I added a lot more angle to the hand there, but basically I started out with that same part of the thumb. That's where for me, that's where I always branch out from. And then everything is kind of based on this right here, like where this finger goes, things like that is all based on this part of the hand. And I establish, the angle of all this first. So again, the hand is at an angle, so these fingers are kind of hidden behind the rest of the hand, like that. So yeah, so that's kind of more of a dynamic, I don't know, the joints are bending, that kind of stuff. So now I'm going to show you a really easy way to draw a fist. This is the easiest, this is the first hand I ever learned how to draw, and it is super simple. So you got your wrist kind of coming in like this. Again, I branch out for the thumb. Thumb is behind. It's kind of like when you do a fist, your thumb is hidden behind your knuckles. So if you're drawing the top half, all you can see is kind of the knuckles, and all you can see really is the knuckle of the thumb, all that stuff. So then you just kind of come up here and draw knuckles. Now it's important when you make a fist, see how it's kind of angled? Like it's not a straight across line, they're not equally far up on your hand. You kind of have a tapered off look that kind of happens there. So your pinky knuckle, index finger, and then your actually there's your index finger. So you can kind of see that looks like a fist, and it's this really interesting kind of shape right there. Now I started drawing this hand early on, and this is what I'm talking about by not understanding the shape of what you're drawing or the thing you're drawing. I think if you practice by drawing this and then drawing the front side of it, so let's mirror this hand over here and draw what's happening on the front. So I'm going to draw the thumb. Now the thumb, if you're drawing the other side of this hand, is coming across your knuckles. And then you got this finger right here, which is the back side, this is the knuckle, and your fingers kind of come forward like this and then tuck into your fist like that. So you got your knuckles coming across, and then remember to taper it off again. Just draw the knuckles in there and the pinky, and they're all tucked kind of into your hand. Here are the knuckles. So now you have a better understanding by drawing this, what you're actually drawing on the other side. So you can kind of see, like by understanding this and drawing the other side of it, you can kind of see the shapes of the things that are happening and why they're happening. So this big joint right here, this joint on your thumb, that's what this is right here. And now like it just, as you make these understanding things in your brain, your brain kind of understands like what's happening here. This is a major joint in your hand, and any type of movement, any type of things you're drawing, this is going to be one of the first things that dictate what the rest of the finger is going to do. So that's why I kind of draw this first. The wrist also, like if your wrist is kind of like angled, coming out like this, it'll also have some effect on what your hand is doing. So yeah, so that's kind of some basic how to draw hands. So now that I've shown you kind of how I draw hands from my mind, that's what these are, drawings that are just when I'm sitting there drawing something, I'm not looking at anything or referencing anything. That's the way I draw hands. Now I'm going to show you a great reference tool for when if I'm working on a finished piece of artwork and I want to make sure the hands are perfect. This app, Handy, is awesome. So you can kind of pick all these different poses, and this company isn't sponsoring this video in any way. This is just an app that I use. You can rotate the hand, see that? You can kind of see different angles and things like that. This is absolutely perfect. There's days where I just will sit down and draw these hands just to get different ideas for how to draw hands. So let's say I pick that pose and boom, just start busting out a hand. And this will show you, this will definitely give you like a better understanding of the things you're drawing. Referencing is how you learn to draw, looking at things, and really look too. Don't just like draw the lines and things, really look at what you're drawing, like understanding that that's that joint that I was referencing earlier. And think about the basic shapes of the things you're drawing. Like this big mass, this is kind of like, if you were to draw it as a simple shape, it's just a big square. See? I mean, it's complex because the hand, that's why the hands are so hard to draw, is because these things are complex. But if I were to draw this three-dimensionally, you know, like that, it's just like, and then the joints kind of attach like that. And there you have it. I mean, and then these tubes, these are, I should show you the fingers. I haven't really done that yet, but really the fingers are just tubes, like toilet paper rolls or anything like that. That's how I think of them. And obviously if I was referencing this, I wouldn't be drawing all these circles and things like that. But see, you can kind of see that joint right here. That's what causes this finger to kind of bend and come forward like that. And this is just, again, a tube. So that I'm not just drawing what I see, I'm referencing all the pieces and all the shapes that kind of go into it so that I learn how to draw hands. And for me, this is how I've learned to draw everything. When it comes to the human form, the torso, everything is made up these basic shapes. And understanding the basic shapes is what will allow you, like I said before, to draw from your mind. So that you're not drawing your hand, you're drawing a couple of rectangles and, you know, some cylinders and some spheres, and that's it. That way, when you want to draw a hand completely different, you know, from your head and get better and better at it. And by no means have I mastered this. Some artists like Kim Jong-gius, whatever his name is, he's a freak of nature and has been able to kind of master the basic shape of every object. So that's why he can draw anything and everything right from his mind. So there's that big thing, thumb. Let's do something weird with the fingers maybe. Let's have this finger kind of bend at that joint and this finger do the same thing. So those fingers are all bent kind of like this. There we go, like that. So you'd have actually another little bend there. And that's the nice thing about hands, is you can do that with your hands and kind of look at things and reference them and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys understand a little bit more about drawing hands and how to practice them. Like I said before, referencing, drawing hands, like this app, like if you just spent a half hour, I know that sounds actually like a lot, let's say 10 minutes. Say 10 minutes every single day. Oh, there's a good one. 10 minutes every single day drawing from this app and just changing the angles and just drawing it as reference, you would get so much better at drawing hands. So I mean, really, I can do this video and all these videos that follow this one and show you how I draw them, but really what it's going to take is you sitting down using an app like this one, and just practicing. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope you guys learned some stuff, you know, some of these hands. If anything, you learn how to draw a fist, right? So right now I'm going to just show you guys how I practice. Generally I'll just open the app and randomly choose kind of different poses, things I might be interested in for upcoming drawings. This hand right here is that's a style of hand that I know I'd use a lot doing in comic books and stuff like that. So one thing I like to do as well is kind of do some rough shading so I can kind of see the shape, the way the light kind of hits different parts of the hand. That helps you understand the form, I think. So that's kind of important to do when you're practicing.
Well, that's the video, guys. I hope you got something from it. I hope, yeah, if anything, you just learned about a really cool app that'll help you practice, which is by far the biggest thing that's going to help you get better at drawing. So, like I said, I hope you guys liked the video, and thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really love it if you did that, and I'll catch you later.